It's the start of the new betting week, but guys, I've got to be honest with you. I cannot focus today. I cannot be that concerned with tonight's card. I mean, I didn't sleep at all last night. I tossed and turned, broke out in cold sweats at one point. That's how bothered I am by this whole New York Knicks situation. Will the Knicks or will they not match the Houston Rockets offer sheet to Jeremy Lin? Will we have another round of Linsanity in the Big Apple this season? Although some will say that there's already insanity in the Big Apple, considering the Knicks' recent moves. I mean, seriously? You went out and got Jason Kidd? I mean, has anybody noticed that Jason Kidd was washed up 4 or 5 years ago? If you're a speedy, athletic point guard, which means me probably 10 years ago, I can blow by Jason Kidd of 10 years ago? I mean, seriously, he's got no legs. He never was a good shooter. I don't even understand what the hell they're doing bringing him in. Of course, he's going to be a facilitator, but when you had your sights set on Steve Nash and you're settling for Jason Kidd at what, 397 years old? I don't get it. Oh, but then you go out and you do the sign and trade deal and bring in Raymond Felton. Have you noticed the Trailblazers don't exactly have a point guard, but they had no problem with letting Raymond Felton leave? I mean, seriously, again, Raymond Felton is not the answer either. I'm not saying Jeremy Lin is the answer either. And the way the Houston Rockets structured the back end of his contract offer, it obviously would put James Dolan and the Knicks in a very precarious spot, paying potentially 25-30 million extra in the luxury tax a couple of years from now in the league. But these are the things that are bothering me. And speaking of the NBA, guys, because listen, I get tired of talking about baseball gambling every single day, and we'll get to the who's hot, who's not. I've got a money-saving discount coupon code that'll save you $23 off a single purchase today, and I'll get to the free pick as well, which is going to be on the Giants and the Atlanta Braves all in a moment. But how about the moves the Dallas Mavericks have made here? You know, screwed in terms of Mark Cuban, cleared the salary cap space, was hoping to go after Deron Williams, who of course stays with the Nets. But I like the move with them going out and getting O.J. Mayo, who may never live up to the expectations many had of him coming into the league. But this is a guy that's going to give the Mavericks 13, 15 points a game. And this is a guy who is explosive offensively and likes to run the floor. You know, Mavericks got rid of Jason Kidd. Everybody was going, oh my God, you lost Jason Kidd. Again, he's 397 years old. You're not missing much. But I like the moves. You know, they went out, they went ahead, and after being spurned by Williams, they got Collison from the Pacers. Another guy who's athletic, able to push the pace on the floor. Remember what the Dallas Mavericks were, guys, last year. Get the ball inside to Dirk Nowitzki and let him work his magic in the lane, or let's shoot 18-footers. Or in Jason Terry's situation, let's shoot 22-footers. Jason Terry's going to be, what, 35 years old this year, guys? He was on the downside, not nearly as good of a shooter as he was a few years ago, always a defensive liability. Great move for the Celtics picking up Jason Terry. No ifs, ands, or buts, and letting Ray Allen go, saving all that money in the process. But I like the Mavs moves. You add O.J. Mayo, you get rid of Brendan Haywood. Yeah, you sign Elton Brand for peanuts. Listen, Brand is going to be a nice little bench guy coming off, filling out in center, filling in at power forward. Love them going out and getting Kleiman from the who played for the Hornets last year, because, I mean, or Kaman, excuse me, Chris Kaman. Good rebounder, more of an offensive threat, probably the best offensive threat the Dallas Mavericks have had at center in years. He is no Tyson Chandler. But when you look at the rest of that Dallas roster, and you've got guys like Vince Carter and, filling up roster space and salary cap room, it's nice to get a little younger and get a little more explosive. Celtics, nice move picking up Jason Terry, as I said. Bye-bye. Ray Allen. I like their draft picks, too. Well, I like the first of the two draft picks, the back-to-back first-rounders with Solinger out of Ohio State. How about the Nets today? Chris Humphries, re-signing for 2 years. So, I mean, you got a nice little team. You got Chris Humphries, you got Brooks Lopez, you got Deron Williams, you got Gerard Wallace. You know, you're putting together a nice little team for the now Brooklyn Nets. I don't know if they can play any defense. I mean, they can rebound a bit with Wallace and Humphries. Doesn't mean, I think sometimes people look at rosters, especially in the NBA, and they look at it from the perspective of fantasy league. But that's great. Hey, this guy's going to get me points. This guy's going to get me rebounds. Doesn't mean they do it together as a team. So that's some of the problems. But anyway, wanted to talk a little NBA today. Hard to believe that the NBA season's only a few months away. How about the NFL training camps opening up? What, about July 27th, 28th for most of these teams? We'll be having preseason football action in about 3 weeks from now. Crazy. Talk a little about preseason football in another couple of days, how this preseason may or may not be easier from a gambling perspective because last year, of course, we had the strike-shortened season, no off-season workouts, the flurry of free agent signings and activity between roster moves right as camp broke and in the first week of the preseason even. Did it make it easier to win money last year? Or will it make it easier to win money this year when you have a normal organized off season? All that and more coming up in the next couple of days. But guys, anyway, let me get busy here today. Let's be honest. And I always tell you the good and the bad. So let me talk about the good yesterday. Okay, that was very short. Let's talk about the bad yesterday, because yesterday was one of those days where most of the handicappers got shot down big time, unfortunately. Anthony Red, hey, look, he had won 69 plays the previous 2 days. He was going for number 3 in a row yesterday, like me. Both on the San Diego Padres last night, a Padres team that had scored 7 runs in back-to-back games and wins at Los Angeles. Naturally, they come home against a pitcher, J.A. Happ, who had like an 18 earned run average in his previous 6 starts. They get shut out 2-0 at Petco. So Anthony lost last night. Still, the bottom line. He had won the 2 previous days with 60-dime releases, $10 players, still up over 4,000 since early February. And tonight he has one of his strongest plays going. His 40-dime winner, number 12 out of 16 in 3 of the last 4. Matt Rivers last night was going for his 300,000 star Stone Cold Lock winner, number 5 in a row. It was a loser. Tonight he's coming right back with number 5 out of 6 on the Angels and Tigers. And of course, the number 1 baseball handicapper at this site over the past 3.5 years, Chris Jordan, last night had his highest rated play. Another 1,000 star release. He won his first 3 this season. He was looking to complete the Grand Slam last night. Instead, he got slammed as the 1,000 star play failed. It was a loser on the Reds against Arizona. Cincinnati had its 6-game winning streak snapped, and the Diamondbacks finally won a game on the road. Still, though, he was playing from a position of power with the profit, because going into today, he's still got 8 out of 10 winning days under his belt, including 13 of the last 15 have been winning days. 13 out of 15. And in that stretch, he's made money. More importantly, this going back to the 2009 season, the $1 gambler is up a little over $12,600 following his baseball betting advice. So unfortunately, he had a bad day yesterday. Guy I want to talk about for tonight, Craig Davis, his second biggest baseball play of the year. 50-dime winner, number 7 out of 9 going this evening. It's on the Mets and the Nationals, his NL East game of the year. $10 better has won $2,915 over the past 2.5 weeks following Craig's advice. He looks to push that number well over $3,000 tonight. Again, second biggest play of the year, 50-dime winner, number 7 out of 9. Listen, your money saving discount coupon code today, guys, is going to be baseball23. Baseball 23, BASEBALL and 23, no space between baseball and 23, BASEBALL and the number 23. Put it all together, baseball 23 will save you $23 off a single purchase you make today at the site. Now, my free pick today, guys, I came very close to going with the Atlanta Braves tonight as my best bet. But I couldn't go with the Atlanta Braves for one reason. It seems every time I go against or on Barry Zito, but more often than not, going against Barry Zito of the San Francisco Giants, I lose. You don't have to hit me over the head with the frying pan that many times to make me realize I got to stay away from games involving Barry Zito. I don't know what I ever did to Barry Zito. I never criticized. Okay, I criticized him a little bit. But I don't know what I ever did to personally offend Barry Zito to screw me constantly, but I learned my lesson. So tonight I'll give you the free pick on the Braves with that caveat that Barry Zito repeatedly screws me. But listen, the Braves are playing great ball right now, coming off that 3-game sweep against the New York Mets in which they scored 21 runs. They've won 7 straight games now overall, scoring a total of 43 runs in those contests. Meanwhile, the Giants did come off a 3-game home sweep of the Astros, but they only scored 11 total runs in that contest. And prior to that 3-game home sweep coming out of the break, they had suffered through a 1-5 road trip through Washington and Pittsburgh. The Braves have won 8 of the last 9 in the series. Jurgen's going for the Braves tonight. He has really resuscitated his career. Because I'll be honest with you, the Braves were down on him. All-star pitcher a year ago. Horrific start this season when he went 0-2 with an earned run average of 9.37 in his first 4 starts. That earned him a quick ticket to AAA Gwinnett. Then he was bypassed a couple of times when the Braves needed pitchers. He finally got the call back because of more injuries. And he's pitched very well since his recall from the minors, going 3-0 with a 2.13 earned run average in 4 starts. The one start that the team lost in that stretch, I naturally used him that night. So there's another warning about this free pick here this evening. He's got a career ERA of 3.58 against the San Francisco Giants. Now, Zito, my pal Barry Zito, 2-4 with a 6.12 earned run average in his last 6 starts. He has averaged per 9 innings a little over 5 walks per start since the end of May. He is, however, 3-0 with a 2.08 earned run average in his last 4 starts against Atlanta, and every one of those starts have come at Turner Field. But here's the flip side, guys. You knew there had to be a but involving Barry Zito. His road earned run average this year, 8 starts outside of San Francisco, 5.19. And the Giants have only won 2 of his last 7 starts. So I say go ahead and lay the 145 with the Braves tonight. But be warned, Barry Zito's pitching for the Giants. Good luck, everybody, and I'll catch you again. And remember that money-saving discount coupon code will be baseball23. Baseball23.